Every club. Every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Welcome to the Daily Newcastle podcast. It is a Wildcard Wednesday. It's also a little bit weird because we have a massive semi-final coming up today. So rather than discuss that, because you would have already listened to the Arsenal preview, we're going to have a bit of fun. And we've got three guests today, so I'm going to introduce them as what they are and get you thinking. So at first, we have the prosecution because she loves to point fingers. It's Jo. Jo is the prosecution this week. How are you doing, Jo?
I'm good. I'm really enjoying. Really looking forward to this.
I was going to say, you're enjoying it already.
I'm enjoying it. Because we've been sitting talking for half an hour. It's great, man. I'm enjoying it already. We haven't even started.
The other guest is the defence today because he's super, super intelligent. That's why I've made him a defence. It's Michael. How you doing, Michael? You okay?
I'm doing very well, and just like Newcastle's defence tonight, nothing is going to get past me.
Love it.
Yes.
Absolutely love it already. I'm so excited. And then we have the judge, the Don, the man mountain, the legend that is Iain Mackay. Iain, how does it feel to be the judge tonight?
I don't mind being the judge. I'm slightly apprehensive about being described as a man mountain. I'm going to have to eat a lot of pie.
That's a positive. That's a you're immovable. You just hench. So if you're wondering what on earth is going on with the prosecution, the defence, and the judge, we thought we'd have a bit of fun. It's the Super Bowl coming up on the 9th. I think it's a Sunday. We have the Eagles. Very happy. Anybody who knows us will know that I do follow the Eagles quite closely. I'm not a huge fan, but we'll talk about that in a second. Against the Chiefs, all right? So what we're going to do, because when I first got into NFL, right, I didn't know what team to support. I just had to watch loads of games and then just pick a team. And I picked the most annoying team it could ever be, which I think sums up my personality, if I'm honest.
You should have been a Man United fan.
Kev, quick question: when did you start supporting the Eagles? Just a quick one. What year was it?
2016.
Was it?
Not 17 at all when they were successful.
I thought you said 19 the other day. You know, like the year after they won the Super Bowl. I was like, oh, isn't that convenient?
So if I'm being honest, I don't want to go on too much. If I'm being honest, I started kind of following them in 2017. Yes, they were successful in 18, and then I kind of got into NFL a lot more in 2019. So yeah, Eagles were just kind of a glory choice. I don't have any really affiliation with it, but we're going to talk about that now. So we've got three guests. We've got a judge, prosecution and defence. We are going to link Premier League teams to the NFL teams based around just what we believe you should support. So, for example, if you are a Man United fan, we're about to tell you very soon which NFL team you should support and the reasons why. So it's a great opportunity for us to A, help you find the NFL team leading up to the Super Bowl, B, to insult every other Premier League team going so we can get loads of hate.
I like it.
And C, to hopefully have a little bit of fun before the huge semi-final. And to be honest, when I was looking for teams to support, like I said before, there was nowhere. I couldn't really look anywhere to see any similarities. So let's have a look at what type of fans we are. Right. We're going to go through some teams. Ian's going to listen to both arguments from Joe and Michael on why they believe they are more similar to a Premier League club. And then Iain is going to be the judge and decide. All right? Sound good? Right. Let's go with the prosecution first. The team we're going to start with is the Cowboys, or as Joe calls them, the Cowgirls, because she strongly dislikes the Dallas Cowboys. So,
and
Joe,
women.
Joe,
I don't dislike women.
What Premier League team is most similar to the Dallas Cowboys in your opinion, and the reason why?
Well, because my dad's going to absolutely love this. As a massive Cowgirl fan, and he knows as a Redskin fan, I've got to hate the Cowgirls. He understands. So my obvious dislike, hatred of the Cowgirls falls perfectly in line with Man U and my complete dislike and hatred of Man U. So I appreciate, again, just probably due to which teams we all dislike strongly. Mine's definitely Man U, but I did make a side note. I've also said... but also Arsenal, due to their lack of league/Super Bowl, obviously put them in line, titles in the past 20 plus years.
Interesting.
That would also suit Man United, though, because Man United haven't been successful recently.
This is why the Cowgirls are a double whammy for me.
Okay, so
I've linked them with Man U and Arsenal.
Your argument is Man United because they are dislikable. Can I add a couple of things to that before Iain gets his question in? Just before Michael makes his defence.
It's a correction. I'm the judge, and you're wrong. Manchester United won Carabao Cup 2 years ago and the FA Cup last
Yeah,
year.
but
So
you can't
cannot
compare the
say-
FA Cup and the
you
League Cup
can't
with
say- well, you can't say
overruled
they're not-
knowledge judgment.
But the FA Cup's not like a Super Bowl.
Super Bowl's a Premier
It's like
League.
Champions League. It's like Premier League,
can't
Champions League,
say-
isn't it?
A simple factual correction. You cannot say that Manchester United have not been.
I love Iain as a judge.
Successful. Well, you can't say it. I'm sorry.
There you go.
2 bits of silverware, which
Let
is
me
still
add-
more than we've had in the last 70 years. So, come on.
Let me add
We'll
a
move
couple
on to
of
us
things.
later, Iain. We haven't
seconds.
even got to
Resume.
us yet.
Let me
resume your chat. Go on, get on with
yes,
it.
Judge.
I
Yes,
think you're right,
Judge.
Kev.
Let me add a couple of things on. I've got Cowboys written down, but I'm not me. I think a couple of things Joe might have missed. Dallas Cowboys are one of the most recognisable brands in the world, as is Man United.
Man
United
U.
is a huge recognisable brand. And everybody kind of knows them. You just know Man United. You know players who
It
played
is.
for them. Same with the Cowboys. And the other one I had was going to be about the trophies because again, Ian's absolutely correct with the League Cups and the FA Cups, but it's not a Super Bowl as a Premier League, and Man United have been chasing the
That's
Premier
what we're
League
comparing.
ever since
League and
Ferguson.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll add a couple of them, but Michael, what's your opinion? Who do the Dallas Cowboys, who do you think, if you are a Premier League fan and you support a certain team, you should support the Cowboys with as well?
I mean, Joe's already touched on it, but Arsenal. I think you mentioned it just there. They've had some iconic players. Same as Arsenal.
point.
Some that you'd sit there and you'd know. But my point, and this moves on to the insulting of the fan bases.
Yeah, this is what I want.
There isn't a whinier fan base in the NFL than the Dallas Cowboys. And there isn't a whinier fan base in the Premier League than Arsenal. They think they're massive. Maybe they used to be, but right now they're winning out. And just like tonight, well, Arsenal winning goal.
Oh, that's a strong case from the defensive Michael. Right, Iain, who
Do you want me to judge?
Yes,
Do you want me
who
to
do
judge now? Or, right.
Now, who do you think with Dallas Cowboys, after listening to both of them arguments, is it Man United or is it Arsenal? Which one?
I hope there's more jeopardy in me having to make any decisions later in this podcast.
Oh, there is.
Because to be quite frank, Michael's right. They're the whiniest fan base. That's definitely Arsenal. Iconic players I get. This is the Cowboys. Was that the Fridge? Walter Perry, the Fridge? Was he not a cowboy? Might have been. That's before all of your time. But you two, Man United, because they're so unsuccessful, I just proved to you were wrong there, unfortunately. You cannot.
I didn't say it for that reason, though. I didn't say that, so you can't judge me on that. Kev said that.
I think the Cowboys were very successful in the past. Very successful.
They've
Man
got
United.
a lot of historical similarities.
Both
Cowgirls and Man U.
Both historically were
Right.
massively successful. But
Correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. You said that because you're a Redskins
I said I
fan,
hate them.
You've got to hate them. So it's a personal choice, and your dad supports.
But everybody hates them, you know.
No.
This
is
is why everyone hates them.
You then said, don't interrupt the judge, or otherwise you're going to be wrong the next two times
I'm
as well,
sorry.
without me even hearing your argument. You also then said, you followed up by, I could also do Arsenal because, and you were right, the second choice was spot on. Michael, you're correct.
Well done. What that means to the listeners is if you are an Arsenal fan and you're some reason listening to the Daily Newcastle episode, I'm guessing you're listening because it's an NFL special. You should support the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, so them two teams match up. Well done, Michael. Brilliant performance there. Now, this episode is obviously going to go a little bit longer than a normal 30 minutes, so we're going to sneak one more in before we go into the adverts because we're all having way too much fun with our roles here. I think this one will be almost a clean sweep. So I think Iain will just be agreeing with everyone here. I think this one's a little bit easier. And then we're going to get into some difficult ones. Next, Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl finalists this year. We will be playing on the 9th of February against the Philly Eagles. So who do we think are most like the Kansas City Chiefs currently in the Premier League? I'll go to Michael first because the prosecution are running around trying to get the notes together.
Plugging my laptop in.
So we're going to go to Michael. Michael, which team, I think we're all going to agree on this, but let's just see, are most like the Kansas City Chiefs in the Premier League?
It's got to be Manchester City, isn't it? For a long period of time, irrelevant. insecure fan base. Oh wait, that hasn't changed. And realistically, they're good, but nobody wants them to be.
Yeah, I think that is a very, very, very good shout in terms of similarities. Also, I've got a little bit of the Chiefs have so many recognisable players at the minute. Travis Kelce with the celebrity status of being Taylor Swift's husband. We have Patrick Mahomes, who is a poster boy for the NFL at the moment. And obviously Manchester City have so many big names. Erling Haaland, arguably a poster boy for the Premier League. And so many celebrity players such as Kyle Walker, who get a lot of England games, John Stones, all that type of stuff to match Travis Kelce. So for me, I agree. I think Man City. Joe, do you have any other shouts for the Kansas City Chiefs, or is it a clean sweep and an easy one for Iain Mackay?
No, I've got City, mainly for what Michael said, but absolutely what you've just added to, I'll be honest. But yeah, absolutely City with the Chiefs.
Well, it's easy to judge this, Kevin. It is Manchester City, isn't it? Obviously. However, I've got to choose one, have I not? I can't. If there's any differences, and I think
for the reasons why, yeah,
Joanne ought to get one because she did a little bit of the shufty at the beginning. Sorry, Michael. Maybe you have to get changed when you're doing the advert. Joanne's got half American football.
I got right up in the camera.
Half American football and half Jarmy bottoms, which I think is a fabulous combination to be broadcasting to the world wearing. You've edged that one and you've got your equaliser, Joanne. Well done.
1-1. Lovely, lovely stuff.
I'm going to get changed again. I'm going to keep this on a roll. I'm going to win this quiz.
Now, it's about to get a little bit more difficult. About to get a little bit more difficult after the break, but we are going to have our first message from our sponsors, and that is going to be the Zencastr Queen, which is Joe. Iain's also judging the adverts tonight. He obviously can't judge it straight away. He's got to wait for Michael. Michael's getting his legs out ready for his.
Wow, Michael!
I don't think he's wearing any pants. I think he's just sat there with nothing on the bottom, but that's interesting.
I did say they'll come
very hairy legs.
Okay.
Honestly, just because he sleeps in his pants, he thinks he can get his trousers off any time.
He literally took his pants off. That's fantastic.
Right. On YouTube as well, by the way. So make sure you follow the Global Sports Podcast Network Limited on YouTube. Click the Daily Newcastle playlist, and you can see Michael taking his pants off on camera. If that doesn't
links
sell
to
it,
other places as well.
If that doesn't sell it, I don't know what will. Joe, first advert, please, before we completely lose our marbles.
I was going to say, let's get this, man. Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time delivering our... No, you see, I'll lose. Start again.
Professionalism, Joe. Come on.
Yeah, well, you've just took your damn pants off, man. Come on, dude. Like, come on.
Just make a lot of
everything for the cause.
I've lost the plot. Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. Zencastr came out the clear winner with 4K video recording from your phone in AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs. It's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
Brilliant job. Iain was making notes through that.
I've got down that once it started, not a bad delivery. And unlike the Christmas special, you did stay within the shot all of the way through.
Good point.
So it's an improvement on that. But if I'm honest, I'm not sure Michael's
I just tried to get through as fast as
possible. For Michael. Not much
Let's
to
get real.
Is what he's trying to say.
I was always going to lose. Michael's like the king of adverts.
What do you think?
I think the one rule I've learned being a host of Wildcard Wednesday on this episode is to not give people roles because we take it very seriously.
I'm taking it very seriously.
Which is excellent. I love it, Iain. I really love it. I do. Right. So we've decided that if you are a Dallas Cowboys fan, if you are listening from America and you're getting excited for the Super Bowl, you should also support Arsenal. If you are a Kansas City Chiefs fan, you should also support Manchester City. It's 1-1 in arguments in terms of Joe and Michael. So the next NFL team we are going to talk about is the Steelers. Now this here could get a little bit over the top. So I'm just going to referee this because the Steelers are known at times for being a little bit corrupt. We'll see if anybody goes there, and if I don't, I'm sure I will, and somebody will have to stop me. So, we'll go Joe first. Which Premier League team are more similar to the Steelers? And Iain Mackay is going to judge based on these two arguments.
Mine's a much more sensible answer than what I've given for the other ones, so you'll be impressed that I've actually made a bit of effort with the Steelers.
Okay, bit of research.
bit of research. So mine does have to do with the team and the location. So what I have actually written down is they have a strong industrial heritage, which they do. They were both great in the 70s, but not so great now. Take the season out of it because Forest are smashing it, by the way. But in general, that was the note I made.
Swear I saw that on Reddit.
I may or may not have copied that directly from
Well
Reddit.
done, Mike. Michael's called her out already. It's not even her opinion. She stole it.
Of course I did.
Michael, who are you thinking for the Steelers?
Well, you see, I was thinking Nottingham Forest because they've got a strong industrial heritage.
Ah, you little bugger.
No, I was actually
Right,
going to
come on.
say Liverpool, actually for the same reasons. Great in the 70s, success again, sort of the late 2000s-ish, and the fans are a bit mental.
Yeah, my fans are a bit mental. Just a little bit. The only note I made on the Steelers before we go to Iain, because I don't think I don't have a shout because we've already picked Manchester City, but Manchester City was another one, mainly, and I'm going to upset some people because it's very, very corrupt. Manchester City are facing 115 charges, and the Steelers have pulled off some very questionable activity in their history. So, and a new badge. The Steelers got a pretty new badge. Well, I say a pretty new badge. It's a horrendous badge. The Steelers' badge, but Man City also changed the badge as well. So, other than that, I didn't have a lot to go on. So, we're going to go between Liverpool and Nottingham Forest. Iain, what are we thinking after listening to that?
I'm discounting the fact that I think Joanne's actually just admitted that somebody else has thought that, that she's just written it down. But that doesn't matter. I like the point.
Got to get the
But I do
information
think-
from somewhere, Ian.
I know. I do think that Michael's choice of Liverpool, in terms of being successful in the 70s, was more successful than Nottingham Forest in the 70s. So they're both true, but Liverpool was more so. Strong industrial heritage, both true, but Liverpool more so. And the mental fans, which went in. I've got to give it to Michael this time. Sorry, Joanne.
Well
It's
done,
fine.
Michael. If you are a Steelers fan,
As long as Michael promises never to take his trousers off in my sight again. You promise?
Oh my
They're
God,
on.
they're
do it
back
back
on.
on.
Back on.
Do it back on. The back on. That's what we like. Snuck them on.
See, you didn't even notice me putting them back on.
Stealth.
When I watch it back on YouTube, I will, and I will be laughing
Yeah.
hard. Yeah. So if you are a Steelers fan and you're listening to this, then apparently Liverpool is your Premier League club with the similarities. That's going to be really interesting to read some of the comments on this one, because we are, as English people, we are going to be hammered by Americans on our horrendous knowledge on NFL. Maybe it'll be interesting to see. Right,
Oh, yeah.
Next one. It's about to get passionate, I believe. Seattle Seahawks. Now, I'm going to chuck one thing in there. I did write the Seahawks down, but it's mainly because I don't know why, and I'm not making an argument here. We just annoy the life out of us. They're a little bit irrelevant, so I was going to put something like Wolves. Just don't really matter. So, Michael, what team do you think are most similar to Seattle Seahawks?
Well, it's brilliant that you say that because I was actually going to compare them to Newcastle United.
Bang on, we're irrelevant, right?
Yeah, sure.
Why-
Yeah,
why?
I was thinking, look, Seahawks had one of the GOATs, Jerry Rice. Newcastle, greatest striker of all time, Alan Shearer.
Good
They were at their
comparison.
best over the last 2 years under an older manager at the end of his career. Newcastle, you could say the same under Sir Bobby Robson, linking to last Wildcard Wednesday. And they fell into mediocrity for a little bit, but they're improving, and there's signs that they could, I'm not saying reach the summit again someday soon, but they're definitely going to be fighting for it soon enough.
It's a good argument. Now, I feel like we all need to chuck our Newcastle United shouts in a second so Iain can pick.
I think
who
we
it
should
is.
have flipped that and said, who do we all think Newcastle? We should have done that the other way around. You know what
Should
I
we
mean?
do it now?
It'd be interesting to see if who we
Come
now
on, man.
got for
Let's do it
Newcastle.
now. I'll not even.
I
edit
don't
this
have
out.
Newcastle, I'm not
Anyway,
going to lie.
Let's. So Michael's picked Newcastle as the Seahawks. So let's go through our Newcastle shouts, and then Iain is going to pick which NFL club.
Hang on.
represents
I'm
Newcastle.
confused. Has Joanne not picked one for the Seahawks?
No, I've won this one.
No, he's won that one for Seahawks. Scrap that, yeah. I've got
Okay.
no counter-argument against that. The prosecution rests its case.
3-1,
Pick
Michael.
Newcastle.
However, Iain, you've got
the
a much
judge
more.
and the defence.
Iain, you've got a much more important
You had
job.
it, you've got it.
You've got a much more important job. You're now going to decide which
Newcastle.
NFL club is most similar to Newcastle. So, Joe,
Okay.
Make your argument, but I'm going to make mine.
Right, so I kind of had a bit of a double whammy with Newcastle. So I've, for years, and I've said this to you guys, that I say the Skins are so much like Newcastle in terms of exactly what we've just done, as in not quite getting the Super Bowl, and then Newcastle will get to the final and not quite win it. We are pretty much the just not quite there team for so long. I mean, it's been since 92, if my memory recalls rightly, since the Skins have won the Super Bowl. I appreciate it's been much longer, by the way, for Newcastle since we've won something. So I'm really not comparing on that scale. But what I mean is it's still been decades. In those decades, we've had some great runs at times. We've had some really shocking ones and been nowhere near even the playoffs. But was just very much a kind of nearly their team. And I like to think that I support both teams because they are very similar. They just kind of, they get me just there and then they just crush my damn dreams, just like the Skins did the other week. But never mind. I'll get over it, but I'm calling mainly for the Redskins. But I did kind of put the Buffalo Bills as a bit of a joke just because of the cold weather that they live in, and we do, and everyone likes to strip off there, and we like to strip off.
Okay.
Well, Michael does. I was
Michael
about to say no, we
stripped
don't, but Michael
in this
literally
episode.
stripped off before. So
He looked
Michael,
amazing doing it as
Nothing wrong
well.
with
I
that.
reckon he agrees with the Bills because he's a stripper.
So we've got
But Redskins.
Seahawks like Newcastle, Redskins like Newcastle. My argument, Ian, I'm going with Philadelphia Eagles, and there's a couple of
Of course you
reasons.
are.
I'm going to
Dude.
go. Just listen.
No.
Listen. I've listened to you guys, and then we can talk about it then. The reason, Judge Don Ian, why the Philadelphia
Oscars.
Eagles are the most like Newcastle United is this season, the Eagles have the best defense, and I'm going to link that to the Newcastle United team who finished fourth. We had one of the best defenses in the league. However, it gets a lot better than that. How close we are as a team this season is amazing. Shipley finally got a touchdown against Joe's beloved Skins, and you should have seen the reaction of all the players. They literally celebrated with that young lad like it was the biggest moment of his life, which at that time it was. I love how close we are. However, this is where it gets really, really similar. Both have annoying fans. I've spoke about my dislike of Newcastle fans at times. We are very annoying, but we are annoying because we are loud and we are passionate. Nobody can deny the passion of the Philadelphia Eagles fans. We are famous for Newcastle Brown Ale. We sell it all over the world. Philadelphia are famous for Philly cheese, and we sell that all over the world. We have famous bridges. They have famous bridges. They have such a rare stadium.
Bridges.
They have such a rare stadium that it's really big on three sides and then kind of a small stand at the south. We have a very unique stadium where we have two massive stands and then two small stands. So that points out as well. That is why Newcastle United are the most similar Premier League team, and that's why it's the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm going to
Interesting.
be so sad if you pick Kev.
I think I'm
Interesting.
close.
Kev is close, but no cigar for Kev. Mainly, one, you can't smoke when you're on YouTube, so definitely no cigar. I like that the grounds are similar. That was well observed. Definitely. But the best defense now, based on what Newcastle had 2 or 3 years ago,
That was just to get started. That was just to build up to the bridges and the selling the cheese, and we sell the brown ale, and we're loud and passionate fans, and we're similar stadium.
I know, which are, honestly,
And
they
the cold
sell
weather.
cheese.
Cold weather. If you watched the
They
Eagles
sell-
game recently, they had snow everywhere. We play in the snow because we're a northern team. There's so many similarities.
I eat cheese.
Right,
They
you've got to
make
stop
cheese.
now because you've already made
Cheese,
your
cheese.
presentation, right? You've
Sorry,
made your
Judge.
presentation. I'm giving my judgment, so stop adding stuff in. I'm going to rule out your cold weather observation there. It's rubbish anyway, because we don't play in the snow. But under soil heating, mate. This has got to be about Michael again. I love
Michael's
that iconic players, Rice and Shearer. That's bang on.
My God.
And successful with an older manager coming to the end of his career. So Bobby Robson's in this answer. It's got to be Michael again. Goodness.
Well
Let's
done,
go.
Michael.
I'm really happy you picked Michael over Kev. Like,
Well done, Michael.
I am.
Well done.
Hold on.
I mean,
I'm just not picking you, Joanne, as well for the Redskins because I just refuse to believe that Newcastle are not quite their team. If you said
We
they
are?
were
What do you mean?
absolutely bloody nowhere team for the last 40 years.
Yeah,
I
but
would
so
have
are the
given you
Skins.
that.
I was trying to be really nice, Ian. I kind of well, the Redskins are like that too. We've
Stop
never
trying
really
to
been anywhere near.
Oh,
We
stop
haven't.
trying.
I would say that Arsenal are not quite their team because they'll finish runners up about 7 seasons in a row without ever
As
winning
someone
it.
who's watched the Redskins for 25 years, trust me, we've got a very lot of similar. I didn't put them across well. It's
Okay,
fair enough. Michael
well,
wins. It's fine.
Whatever your own individual opinion is, Joe, it is irrelevant because I have practiced
Apparently.
a few moments ago.
Well done, Michael.
Ian,
well done, Michael. You've won
we're
that
gonna
one.
have words when I see you.
You've
It
won that
wasn't
one.
the NFL. Michael who got that one.
I just like that I wasn't as far away as Joe was with the Newcastle United shout, so I'll take it.
You are. The Eagles
right,
are nowhere near us.
right.
Get away.
Since Michael
Again.
is on a roll and this episode is going to go overtime, what a shock. Michael, give us the next advert, please. And then we're going to come back with some honourable mentions, see what Ian thinks of them. And then I think Joe's got a quiz to try and catch us out at the end.
Oh,
A couple of cheeky questions.
The Global Sports Podcast Network is changing the face of football podcasting with dedicated daily content for every Premier League team, women's football, a dedicated Premier League wrap-up in 5 different languages. This is your one-stop shop for your daily football fix. Find the GSPN wherever you find your usual podcast.
That was good. Ian, who's won on the
Love it,
advert? I
Michael.
think Michael is
Well,
smashing this
Of course
episode.
he has.
I think Michael, although he's made his own advert, factually incorrect because, yeah, the podcast is available in 5 languages. But when it's Michael who's reading the advert, there's a thick, sexy body language that's being spoken as well, isn't there? No. Anyway,
I
yeah,
am sorry.
I think you could have done anything, Michael, because Joanne taking 15
Joanne's
minutes to
getting
get
hammered this
start,
episode.
I give up.
and then but you said you've
I agree, it's all right.
You
I
almost
said the
conceded,
prosecution
so-
rested its case. Michael wins.
Okay.
Honestly,
Well done, Michael.
like I'm done.
We're not
I
keeping
don't
score.
want to, I don't want to undermine the decisions that I'm coming to by being swayed by the fact that I have a lot of sympathy for how much thought and effort Joanne has put into all of her answers. But I can't on the advert do that quiz. I am looking somehow to be able to cheat in the last part to get you to be useful.
Honestly.
So,
No comment.
we've got some honourable mentions in this part of the show. I've been telling, if anyone doesn't know, I'm a teacher, and I've got a student who has some honourable mentions as well, but I'll read through his at the end because you guys might have them first. One of the honourable mentions for me was, obviously, I think Cowboys like Man United, but I was going to go with the Patriots to be a little bit like Man United.
That's what I had.
Mainly because, again, huge name, huge amount of success for the Patriots a long time ago. We had Bill Belichick, probably the most famous coach in NFL history, and obviously Manchester United had Alex Ferguson. So there is a case, if you are a Patriots fan, that Man United kind of match up well with your team in terms of significance to their league or franchise, I suppose.
I like that one.
So that was one of mine. It was mainly because of Belichick. Again, when I was kind of following NFL early on, he was classed as the GOAT, as was Alex Ferguson when I started watching football. So, yeah, that was one of mine. Michael, have you got any honourable mentions in terms of teams who match quite well with Premier League teams in the NFL?
Yeah. The Cleveland Browns and our neighbours down the road, Sunderland. Because, Cleveland Browns went a full season without a win, and Sunderland, well, I know they're doing all right this season, but yeah, they're pretty dog poo as well.
Pretty dog poo, that's a new thing, isn't it?
I love that.
Well, I think Ian's going to agree with that one when we come back to Ian.
We're not. Ian's not. Ian's excluding it because Sunderland are not a Premier League team.
That's
they're
exactly
in the
right.
Championship. So, in fact, Michael, that was dreadful. You're losing 2 of your points you've gained.
Oh,
Ian's going to make me win.
leave now.
I love Ian.
Joe,
This is,
any good
this is why I
shouts?
love Ian.
No,
Any good shouts for honourable mention? Michael took his headphones off.
Ian, I'm going to get
dear.
5 bonus points for this, aren't I?
you don't need to. You don't need to.
I don't need to. You've stripped him of all his points.
You just took 2 off, that's all. But that's terrible. That's terrible, isn't it? I mean, Sunderland aren't
It
even
is
a Premier
terrible,
League.
I
Come on,
agree.
that's not just a...
He tried to cheat, didn't he?
Sunderland have never been played in
Yeah.
Europe.
As he took his bloody earphones off. He has
He's put his
some.
earphones off. Come on,
He's
Joe,
a right-
carry on. Here we
Right.
are, honourable mention.
I'm hitting up the two Scouts teams. So the reason I was so kind of impassioned that you couldn't link the Eagles to Newcastle, I've linked to Liverpool, mainly very quickly for the arrogant fan base, and everyone loves to hate them.
Like Newcastle. but backs up
I know,
my
but I
Newcastle
can't say
Everyone
it against
loves
my
to
own
hate
team.
Newcastle. The Premier
But I
League hate
can't
Newcastle.
say it against Newcastle. That's why. So I linked it to Liverpool. So
If
that's
we take
them.
emotion out of it, we are an annoying fan base, and like we get annoyed at each other.
All fan bases
we
are, though,
get
aren't
annoyed
they?
at people wanting
Like,
Eddie
come
Howe
on.
out.
But
But
so
it's
are
through
Arsenal.
sheer
They're
passion.
annoying
It's through-
fan base.
Anyway, my
There's
argument.
loads of fan base that are annoying, really.
Yeah.
But my other one was Everton and the Jets because they've basically achieved bot all in the last decade, specifically. Like
I had the
bot all.
Commanders for that reason.
Oh, we well longer than the last decade, though, Michael.
Well done, Michael.
That's the problem. I'm just talking about decade.
Everton, the last decade, Everton haven't won anything in I mean, when was the last time
80s,
Everton won
I think.
anything? 90s?
80s.
80s? Not
Oh,
winning
90s, you might be right, actually, yeah.
the Cup in the 90s?
The
I
Jets
don't
probably
know.
might
I
be a
could be
bad one, I
wrong.
guess. But anyway, I'll link them to them. Anyway, they suck is why.
Any
Jets suck,
points?
Everton suck, that's why.
Any points for Joe there, Ian? Any of
Well,
them?
I mean, to be honest, Jets suck, Everton suck. Is that enough of a link?
No.
Not really, is
But they
it?
do?
I mean, it's not an argument, Joanne.
But they do?
And
Like, they
because
suck? Big time suck? Awful.
that's fine. I get that. But then you could have had Leicester, you could have had Southampton, you could have had Ipswich this year, couldn't you?
No, because
Southampton
Everton are
would
just
have been a
down there
better
all
one.
the time. They just about survive. They just kind of
I
clamber
don't think
every
you're getting
season,
a
don't
point here,
they?
Joe. I don't think
I
it's
know,
like
I'm
I
just
didn't
trying
get
to say
one.
why I did it, that's all. Because Everton are
There's
just
no
down
point for
there.
Everton.
They survive, but they don't. They just suck, but everyone knows
Yeah,
it.
Joanne, there's no point for Everton. Okay,
It's fine.
that's the end.
All right.
However,
Ian.
your Eagles
Nice.
shout
Well,
for being
Eagles and
Liverpool, in that they've got an arrogant fan base. You said that everyone loves to hate them.
Like
Everyone does
Newcastle.
hate them.
If you had said Everton for the Eagles for that reason, you would have got your point. But I'm
How
saying
about
if
Eagles
Liverpool,
for the whole of Houseland?
The
Liverpool
Eagles
and
have won
Everton.
the Eagles have won a Super Bowl.
Liverpool are not even the most hated team in Liverpool
But
because that's Everton.
Good
And we
point.
had that
Eagles-
discussion months ago. We all
I
had
know,
Everton
but
on
the
that.
Eagles are
Well
also
done,
too
Judge.
good to be
Well
linked
done.
to Everton, though. Because Everton suck and the Eagles don't. As much as I hate it, Eagles don't suck like Everton. They can't be linked to Everton.
Okay, that's
That's
fair
why.
enough then. Okay, but your reason for putting Liverpool in there failed because Liverpool isn't even the most
This
hated team in Liverpool.
Stupid quiz sucks.
Well
Sorry,
done.
Joanne, I'm not buying any of them.
I tried to throw it, I'm still winning.
Yeah, exactly.
I told you, Michael, what I said at the start.
Michael's giving away a point, and he's still
Clean
won.
sweep.
I did stop counting because Michael has just done fantastically well linking NFL clubs and Premier League clubs.
I've been keeping score, Kevin.
Okay, come on, Manine.
Michael got 4, but then gave 2 away with his Sunderland quip.
I just had to get a
Why
chip
stop
in.
at
It's fine.
Sunderland? Why stop at Sunderland? You could have gone right further down to League 1, League 2. But anyway, yeah, so you've got 2 points, Michael, altogether. Joanne, despite her
Poor performance.
atrocious advert, did get 1 for City, mainly because he's wearing pyjamas. That really is the point that Joanne
That was
got.
literally it.
If I'd known this earlier, I'm not going to lie, I would have wore
That
something
is the-
even better.
Next year, you'll know.
Next time
what
I
to
know
do.
Ian. I've got you sussed, yeah.
Borrow that bat of Nicola. We should have been wearing that tonight, but unfortunately not with us.
Good God.
And I'm not even giving you points, Kevin, because you're not even supposed to be.
I'm not.
You're
I
supposed
just
be
wanted
the
to chuck in.
quizmaster.
I just wanted to chuck in the Eagles and Newcastle United because I think there is similarities there.
Well, I think there are similarities between these teams. It has been a joy to hear you manoeuvring your way around. And to be fair, Michael, you've done well actually. You got 4 that got the point, so you have done very well. Well
done, Michael.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It ended up being a narrow win because of your 2 own goals with your last option there, but you did. You did.
You also
So-
got a point for the advert as well. I think. So that'll be 3.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
You can have your 3-1, Ian. He gets your 3-1.
3-1.
Ian put a bet on
All
it.
night.
The judge
I've
put a
got
bet
it.
on 3-1, and what a surprise! It's ended up 3-1.
shock horror.
What about Matt
You know what would it,
Dixon? What about
if
Steelers? What about
reality
Man City?
if reality was truly being reflected, I would have had a 3-1 bet on, but I would have had a 3-1 bet for Joanne to win because that happens so many times that I'm 3-1 the wrong side. Anyway, well done, everyone. That was fun.
Thanks.
So again, let us know, the people listening, let us know if we are absolutely miles off it, if we actually maybe have a slight idea about what we're talking about with the NFL. Like I say, me personally, I follow it very lightly. Joe follows it probably the most out of all of us. And Michael clearly has a bit of knowledge about it because he's won with the judge. So before we leave this episode, Joe has done, I think, a little bit of
mini
trivia.
quiz.
A little bit of trivia.
Yeah.
So Joe's going to ask the questions, then she's going to close out the show, and then we're going to absolutely smash Arsenal tonight. Let's go, Joe.
Let's go. Right, just a quick one. Do you guys know, of all the 32 teams, how many have never won a Super Bowl? Throw me a number. I'll give you, if you get a bang on, brilliant. Otherwise, it's just one wins. Sorry?
6.
Right, what do you say, Kev?
I'm going to go more. I'm going to go... Is a Super Bowl...
Like the Super Bowl?
I'm going to go 16.
You think that your mighty Eagles are in?
16.
16. So 6, 16, what you saying, Ian?
11.
The Don gets it, it's 12.
Oh, I knew I should have
I'm
went
going to
with.
assume by that you wouldn't be able to name them because you were all over anyway. But yeah, I'll name them very quickly.
Minnesota Vikings.
Yep.
Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
Commanders.
No. Of course we have, man, you fool. We were good ones. I'll read them out. Bills, Browns, Chargers, Jaguars, Lions, Texans, Vikings, Cardinals, Falcons, Panthers, Bengals, and Titans. 12 teams. I was surprised at some, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, 12.
Okay.
I'm wearing
Anyway.
a pair of Titans tonight.
Ooh. Ian gets that one. See what I'm doing, Ian?
Well done, Ian.
Yeah. I've forgotten by next year, Joe, so there's no point cheating for me.
I've got loads lined up, all prepped for you. Another one then. Only team in the last decade to achieve nothing. They've never even made it to the playoffs. There's only one team that hasn't in the entire last decade out of any 32 teams. Do you guys have a clue, or what do you reckon, basically?
I'll go
the clue
first.
might be in what I said about one of my...
I will guess the Jets, because he said they would... So.
Bang on, Ian.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, if you had to listen to us, which you did, Ian. Thank you.
See, I knew I'm the judge because I know absolutely nothing about this
We
game.
didn't even get that opportunity, Michael. We've been left out of this love affair.
It was a jump in first there. Sorry.
I thought I had an advantage, right? I'll be honest. I had an advantage of going 11 because I picked the number in between 6 and 16. And I thought, I can't go last every time, otherwise I'll do that 3 times. But I thought I'd go first, honestly.
I appreciate the honesty.
Well, this one's a 4-way thing. So basically the 4 teams that were in the championships, obviously now there's only 2 left for the Super Bowl. So we've got the Skins, the Chiefs, the Eagles, and the Bills. Okay, with the last 4 teams. We've talked about it already. When did the Eagles last win a Super Bowl?
2018.
Massive Eagles fan, you.
18, yeah.
18.
Yes. But I think Michael might have said it first. When did the Skins? I've repeated it multiple times
before me, to be
Did
fair.
he? Oh, sorry, Kev.
Yeah.
I apologise. I do apologise.
Joe got against me here, like.
Everything that you've got against me. No, I'm only joking.
That's a lot.
What? Wow. Another thing I've mentioned this entire kind of episode is when did the Skins last win one? I've mentioned it multiple times.
93.
92.
It was
Kevin
80s.
gets it, 92. It was 92, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it feels like the 80s, Michael, you're right.
Lead?
I thought you'd said you hadn't
not
done anything
2-2.
since the 80s, so I was like, it must
Sorry.
be the 80s.
So it is 2-2, but Michael, you've got a chance to make it a 3-way tie here. When did the Chiefs last win?
Last year.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, I love how you all just looked at his nose.
We were like, that's so easy. Like, last year. I don't know if it was Michael's question. I was trying to tell Michael, like, he knows last year.
And again, if you'd been paying attention, when did the Bills win it?
I don't want to edit this much. Stop it, Michael.
The other 2 points that he got in the quiz.
I'll say 97.
Nope.
If we were paying attention, who was talking about the Bills?
That's a bit of a
I
clue
was
if you're
thinking,
paying
who was
attention.
talking about the Bills?
It was mentioned in the very first question I told you.
Was it? What was the first question?
If I read it out, it gives you the answer.
Right, don't read it out then. I thought the first
I'm going to go.
How many?
We've mentioned the 90s quite a bit. 92 was yours. 1990.
When was the first one?
Like
when was the first Super Bowl?
32 or something like weird like that. I don't know. Years ago.
Yeah, we're only up to 40 odd.
Probably not that long ago.
I'm going 1990.
No.
No? 1991.
No.
No, it was 88.
Ian throws an answer.
85.
So nobody paid attention. The Bills are one of the 12 teams that have never won it. That's why I'm saying you weren't paying attention. That's fine.
We weren't.
Right, okay. Right,
It's fine.
yeah.
There we go.
Should have
That's the
got
quiz
that.
over with. It's fine.
Oh, I think that makes...
What is right?
What?
We've completely lost the plot. I haven't got a clue what's happening.
Someone out of Doctor Who,
You
that's
got 3 points, Kevin, so stop trying to pretend that you don't know. I got 3 because I picked...
He's turned into a dollar.
Pull it away. Pull it away.
Darling, can.
Take your microphone away, Ian.
Is it not
Well,
sexy
that knows.
anymore?
We'll see you later.
He turned into a Dalek. Is he back?
I'm back.
He's back. He's
Ian
not
Rex
again.
just
Oh my
won
God.
3-1, I think.
That
Did I
sounded
translate
good.
that right?
I've
Did
got at
you
least
think
2.
you won
Yeah.
3-1?
3-2 at
I don't
least.
know anything about this game.
I think Kev did get 2.
Gee, I'm getting hammered. Right.
Apparently
Anyway,
you've been deducted 1.
this has been a lot of fun for us. I have no idea how it's going to sound back to the listeners. It's going to sound like carnage, I think. But hey, why not try new things? Hey, that's what we've done here. We've tried to link NFL, Super Bowl to the Premier League. Let us know if we have any good shouts. However, the whole point of this was to take your mind away from the very nerve-wracking Arsenal semi-final tonight. And hopefully we've took your mind off it for at least 40 minutes. Because I am going to have to do some editing to get rid of Michael swearing. Thank you very much for listening.
Don't worry about it.
You'll hear
We're going to
from
be
us.
all right.
You'll hear from us. You'll hear from us after we confirm our place in the League Cup final against Arsenal tomorrow night. Thank you very much. You'll hear from us then.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network. Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.